Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Rob. Welcome to vidIQ, and as usual, it's a Tuesday, and we're going to tell you some awesome stuff about YouTube, and we're going to audit your channels. Let's do this.
vidIQ.
vidIQ.
vidIQ.com.
Hello everybody, my name is Rob. Welcome to vidIQ. If this is your first time here, we are the YouTube tool and channel that aims to help you get more views in less time by educating you on your YouTube journey. Now, I don't know if you can hear this, but we have some really hardcore club music in the background here. Do let me know if it's too loud. We're going to experiment with some music today. And I'm not sure if you can see this, but Jeremy is jamming out to this music as you can hear. Jeremy Vest, of course, is I'm trying to remember all the things I want to say about Jeremy. Our YouTube expert, our senior evangelist, old skateboard dude, nerd, and generally all-round nice guy. Jeremy, welcome to vidIQ as usual. How are you feeling today? I can see you're wearing a baseball cap today.
Yeah, it's cold. It's like 40 degrees in Dallas, Texas today.
Wow, so that's considered fairly cold for your area of the country, I guess. So let us know, of course, where you are today, what time it is, and maybe what temperature it is, because we're going to try and heat up your YouTube today. I'm using lots of terrible puns as we jump into this. What we're going to talk about today, as you've seen in the live stream thumbnails, we're going to talk a little bit about something called show formula. And Jeremy always preaches about this, like we can get fantastic thumbnails, great titles, metadata, but once somebody goes into your content, they want to have some structure, and you'll see this in television programs and everywhere, and the more structure you have, the better chance you have your audience staying on your content for longer and improving audience retention. We're going to look at that in a few minutes as we just let everybody join in here on the live stream. I'm seeing that Tara support is there in Pakistan. It's 11 p.m, 25 degrees Celsius there, so it's still pretty warm. Non-technical guru is there in India. Garage Time, Auto Resto, Huntington Beach, sunny, and it's 75. Jammer Creek Crew, Montreal, 2 p.m. over there. Jeremy, who else have we got on the live stream today?
We have William Goff.
Hey, William.
ENS Plus 3 TV. I can't pronounce that one. Serbo-Bosas.
Yeah, we always try our best to pronounce both usernames and channel names, but we're never quite perfect with that, and we do apologize in advance. We've also got to say hello to Christian Pal in Estonia. It's 9 o'clock there. The Luxury Hybrid, 60 degrees Fahrenheit in New York City today. Nines Catudio. I always have to remember to have to pronounce that perfectly. You're in Alberta, Canada. Noon warm, but I heard that 2 weeks ago you had 30 centimeters of snow in the middle of October, which is unbelievable. And Fish Visions, California, it's 11 o'clock there. Sounds like a perfect 68 degrees. All right, Jeremy. So what we're going to talk about today, I think, with you is something called show formula. So if you just want to do a quick introduction on that while I press all the correct buttons to make sure that you can see my screen while we're doing this, we'll talk about show formula, and then we're going to jump on to auditing your channel. So what have you got for us, Jeremy? Take it away.
Yeah, so when I used to teach graphic design, my students would start off, I call this the blank screen of death. They would just have like a white monitor, right? And there would be nothing on their screen. I would tell them to like make a business card or a brochure. What I had to teach them is I had to teach them to put the logo on the screen that has colors and typography. What happens from adding the logo is they start developing their color palette and understanding the color scheme of the logo or the brochure or the business card, because they're constrained by the logo itself. Then I would tell them what text to use. They would add that to the screen, and fundamentally they would start 50 or 60% fully designed before they even started designing, because they knew what the text was and what the logos were and what the color was. And we were able to sway a lot of designers from quitting school, because it's really intimidating to go make just a brochure or a business card your first time. This is the same concept, I think, with YouTubers, is we need to start with 10 or 20 or 30% of what we're going to do and how we're going to do it so that we can quickly and easily repeat success. So one of the ways we do this is we start with a teaser. Now, if you do this show formula every time, both your users, your viewers are going to get used to how you do things, and you are going to be able to make videos quicker. So typically I like to do a teaser between 5 and 30 seconds long. And it's something like, hey guys, today we're going to learn all about the show formula so you can grow your YouTube channel. Let's get started. Do something like that. And Rob, do you have anything to add to the teaser part?
Yeah, so I think you've seen here that we're trying to include some show formula elements in a live stream. It's a little different on a live stream because of the live nature of it, but you've also already seen that we've done an intro, like a teaser, which was about 10 seconds of me hopefully getting you all excited. Then the intro, and then this personal intro, both introducing myself and Jeremy, and introducing the audience as well, which I think is the unusual dynamic that's added to the live stream. But we've still got a show formula. Once we've done this, we're going to be moving into the channel audit, so we're going to moving into that area, and then we're going to split it up with different things. So over time, we've been developing that formula very much on the live stream.
Yeah, so the teaser is, let's say you're doing makeup. What you would want to do in the teaser, you want to show the after, what it looks like, the final product. Let's say you're making a craft. You would want to show, if you're doing anything how-to, you want to show the end result so that people feel like they're in the right place. When someone clicks your thumbnail or gets to your video in some capacity, they want to make sure they're in the right place. So this teaser is really all about making sure people are watching the right video. And if they're not, then maybe they don't like that particular haircut or that craft. That maybe they need to move on to another video. So showing the final product, really getting people a sense of exactly what they're going to be hearing about is a very good thing. So after the teaser, I like to get into the personal introduction and maybe like a logo swipe. So even if you have a personal channel, I would show like a quick logo so that people get used to your branding and your colors and your name or logo or business name. And then from there, I would introduce yourself. I would say something like, hey, I'm Jeremy Vest, the senior evangelist at vidIQ, and we're dedicated to helping you on your creator's journey. So I would say something like that, giving myself context, who I am, what I do, what I work for, and why you should listen to me, because I'm dedicated to helping you on your creator's journey. From there, I would actually, a lot of people don't agree with me here, but I'm going to say it anyways. I would actually get in, tell people to subscribe, but I wouldn't just say subscribe if you've never seen a video. I would say, if you like this video, before you leave, make sure you subscribe to our channel. That way, subconsciously, before they leave, some people will actually remember that and they will click on the button and they will subscribe. So telling people what to do is extremely important, because a lot of people, if people like what you're doing, people will subscribe or comment, or they'll do whatever you ask them to do. But if you don't verbally ask for the call to action, odds are your engagement's going to be lower than you would if you were asking. And remember, as a YouTuber, you're here for your fans. You're not here for yourself. So try to make it as interactive as possible. So call to actions, it's not about selling necessarily. It's about engaging with your community, which is, we have a lot of people. We have over 100 people watching right now. This is not about us, right? This is about you guys. The 100 people watching this very moment. And we're here to serve you. So remember that on your own channel. The call to actions aren't necessarily for making money. It's about interaction and making sure that you engage with your audience. And
Mario Monti raises an excellent point here. He says he likes to say subscribe at the end, but the problem is that not everybody listens to the end. So you could be saying subscribe to 20 to 30% of the actual people who clicked on the video in the first place. So it's always good to sow that seed while the audience is most engaged and most people are watching.
And that's exactly why I like to do it within the first 30 seconds, because maybe people only watch 50% of your videos or 70% of your videos. But if you wait to the end to hit subscribe, I think there's a lot of people that love what you had to say. They just didn't want to go to the very end for you, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that. Very, very good point. Then you get into the content. Look, the content's the content. We're not going to tell you how to make your content today, other than watch your competitors, make sure you're improving 1% every week, and keep on, you know, making better content. Listen to your audience, make sure you're giving them the best value or entertainment you can. And then we're going to get fast forward to the end screen. What I personally like to do is I personally like to be on one side having basically the person on screen, and the other side a solid color like white or black, so that the end screen elements actually show up in a very nice organized background. So that's definitely what I would do. I would show the end screens where you're on one side and they're on another.
And also, something that I've been learning is to directly address the end screens, don't just plaster them on the page. Unless you're doing a hard end to the video, it's always good to say, if you enjoyed the content here, we've got a follow-up content over here on my left, or we can look at an entire playlist of YouTube tips and tricks down in the bottom left-hand corner, and we've been seeing some positive results from that as well.
Yeah, definitely. So that's the show formula. What do you guys think? Feel free to ask questions about this show formula. What is your show formula? How do you do it? And by developing a show formula that's consistent throughout all your videos, are you able to make your content faster? Are you able to get more subscribers? What was your experience there?
Awesome. So thank you very much, Jeremy, for an introduction to show formula. And what I would also say is that this takes time. It's not something that you can instantly get right in your head over time. So maybe look at the suggestions that we made and try and introduce one at a time, or try and the first one may be terrible when you try and get a show formula, but practice makes perfect. And I'm sure you're seeing in these very live streams that we're doing, where we're trying to develop more of a show formula with every single live stream which we do, which brings us on to calls to action. If you're enjoying this live stream, please do make sure to give it a thumbs up. That really does help with our engagement. Post as many comments as you want in a live stream as well. Like, if you're ready for channel audits coming up right now, then give us the best emoji you can think of right now in the chat, and we want to see all those emojis popping up. If you find this content useful, please do share it with other like-minded video creators. And now let's get on to the topic of channel audits. So what we do here every single week is we take a look at your channels. We don't discriminate, so you don't need to do a super chat. Your channel can be of any size. The smaller the better. The larger are the ones that we look at as templates for smaller channels. So whatever we see in our Google form, which is in the video description, fill it out and your channel could be audited probably in the second part of this live stream, as we've got quite a few already lined up. What else was I going to say? I was going to say that we do take foreign language channels, but sometimes they can be a little harder to decipher because of a language barrier, of course. And Jeremy, just give us a little bit of an insight on what we tend to look at when we're doing these channel audits, as I see thousands of emojis appearing in the live stream here, which is brilliant.
Yeah, I love the emojis. We have to like call to emoji every show from now on.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You know, typically what we do is Rob and I have a lot of experience and billions of views for our credit for, you know, ourselves and our customers. And we're just really looking at patterns or things that could be right or wrong. Typically, our eye goes to the title and the metadata, the tags, the show formula, and how the video is created. If there's any audio problems or visual problems, you know, on the video. And I mean, really, that's kind of the biggest part of it. If you're trying to do something specific, like send people off your channel, or you're trying to get sales, then we could talk different. But it's really relative to your goal. So if your goal is to make money, then our advice may be different than it would be to grow a YouTube channel.
All right, then, without further ado, let's start with some channel audits. Okay, Jeremy, can you confirm, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes, you can. All right, so the first channel we are looking at, funnily enough, was one of the vidIQ community members who said hello earlier on. It is Nine's Catudio, which is a channel with over 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations to you on your success already of breaking through that first monetization requirement. I'm just going to click on the video so we can get a closer look at the thumbnails. My guess is, and one of the things we look at here is how quickly we can decipher who might be your target audience and like the value proposition. And we can see clearly from the channel banner and the thumbnails mostly that this is a channel about cats in a certain perspective. Looking at the titles, can we determine whether this is about almost like a cat vlog or cat tutorials? What are the things that are starting to scream out at you as we look at this channel, Jeremy?
The first thing I see is the thumbnails are very decent.
Mm-hmm.
I give them a solid B minus, maybe B. They're very, very good.
Yeah.
However, they're a little repetitive in one aspect and not repetitive enough in the other. So the color of the fonts and the font and the font size should really stay the same in the location of the fonts,
right,
so that people know it's your videos. I would also just stay away from too many words,
yeah,
and have text too large. Typically, we're telling people to make text larger, but in this case, I could even see it being a little too big. For example, on Kitties Fail Blues, you may just want to say kitty fells or something. I don't think necessarily 3 words are better than 2 in this case, or kitty blues, whatever's most relevant. If the text does not help when you click,
yeah,
for people to click on your video, then it's not useful. You should never repeat the title necessarily, because that's not necessarily useful. So think of text on a thumbnail as fuel to get people to click, on a thumbnail. So intrigue, interest, you won't believe what's happened next type stuff is going to give you better. Also, there is a threshold where a cute picture of a cat may actually outperform any text at all on the thumbnail. So I would definitely test no text on your thumbnails and just focus the cat more. For example, with Dine with Nine, I would probably have some type of philosophy of a cat eating or food, or you really want to tell a visual story as well. So you don't want to. What's awesome about not using a lot of text is you can add a lot of visual cues and a lot of visual storytelling, like a cat eating or a whole bunch of cats eating, or a thing of food with a cat next to it. There's all kinds of ways to tell a visual story that doesn't necessarily require text.
Now, when I was looking at the titles, I was trying to work out what might be the key word or core keyword phrases, and nothing was really striking me here. And a lot of them start with maybe save the black cat, Norwegian forest cat, our funny cats. Do you think there maybe is a potentially for the video creators to find a core? I don't know if it'd be cat vlogs as such, but how can we make this all more focused?
So one of the biggest mistakes all creators that I've ever met make is they don't have a specific focus. So within cats themselves, there are thousands and hundreds at least of subgenres. Yeah. Right? There's funny cats, there's swimming cats, there's wet cats. There's a million types of ways to rank. People are searching for and people are sharing mostly cat fails and funny cats. So what I would do, and Rob, if you could do this in real time real quick, go to the search box and type in cat. Actually, do me a favor. Type in _ cat. I'm going to show people a little trick. This underscore, what this underscore does, type in the T again, like delete the T and type in the T again. Okay, and keep right there. So what this underscore does is it doesn't matter where the cat is, it's showing what's before. So instead of like how to whatever cat, do you see what it's doing there, Rob?
Oh, right. I didn't even know this. Wow. I mean, this requires a sound effect of some kind.
and then do underscore a space underscore again. So now this is basically the biggest cat videos on YouTube, according to YouTube's drop-down menu here.
Yeah, interesting. So we could effectively do this for anything, like if you're putting dog as the same idea, or
Exactly.
I don't know, PS4 as another idea as well. Like you can use that to really show the super popular search terms for anything, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So instead of like how to bake a cake, you could just do underscore bake a cake, and then it'll tell you what the most popular terms are in the front of that with the underscore. So that's a huge power tip there.
You see, that's why we have a YouTube expert on our live stream every single week. Folks, if you found that useful, tell us what you think in an emoji. We'd love to see your reactions there. All right.
The emojis. So anyways,
Yeah.
what we need to do here is we need to find a cat theme, and then I recommend for the rest of the year, you try to rank for a cat theme. So like, you know, I know that there was a few sub themes, but I would actually start the title with like funny cats or wet cats, or, you know, whatever ranks very well. And one more thing, if you could actually type in like funny cats and then hit enter, I want to show them the way I start all keyword research. So over on the right-hand side, do you see how it says monthly searches? I think that's a little high. Well, it may not be for funny cats. 7 million monthly searches for funny cats. That's probably right with, you know, almost 1.9 billion users.
Yeah.
So you see the monthly searches, and then scroll down a little bit, Rob, and you can actually see related queries and top search terms around funny cats.
Yeah.
So this is how I start my journey of understanding the core keywords I'm going to be using for my titles. Our recommendation would be to actually make a series of videos around funny cats. So instead of making one video here and there, go try to make 20 or 30 and see if you can consistently rank better for that term.
So, folks, that is Catudio. We spent a little bit of time on the channel, but you've got some really fantastic advice on just general keyword research there that you can apply to essentially all channels. Okay, just before we move on to the next channel, I just wanted to remember, because I always forget to do this every single week, I wanted to say a big thank you to the super chats that we have so far, which are Saucy Sarcasm YouTube Tips, $2 from you. Thank you very much for that. Almost at 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations to you. And Nines Catudio as well. You gave us a $5 super chat there as well. Really appreciate it. We didn't choose your channel because of that. I'd already lined you up just so that everybody is aware of that. So thank you very much for the super chats. Next channel we are going to look at is SP Tech Plus. And just to say to you, thank you very much for volunteering to be the moderator this week. Our usual moderator, the Doberman, is not available this week, so thank you for stepping in there. Again, we didn't choose the channel because of that. He'd already submitted the form on Google. So what we're looking at here is a channel with just over 300 subscribers, systematic tech reviews, and these tech reviews all look to be on, I would say, generally speaking, predominantly laptops or mobile phones. My thoughts as I'm just looking at this is that I like the consistency of the thumbnails. We can definitely tell that every review that you do is from your channel. One thing I'm looking at, though, is that you're using the product name, but not necessarily maybe an overlaying keyword. That might be laptop reviews or something along those lines. What else can we maybe say about the channel, Jeremy, here?
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a lot of channels, I can't think of them right now, that like Linus Tech, and there's a lot of channels that have amazing thumbnails in this regard. You have great consistency, but you don't have humanization in your thumbnails. So they're really kind of cold. My recommendation to you is to be holding a laptop with a crazy YouTuber face. Get your face in there, make it part of the scene, and really put yourself out there in the world of tech so that people know you. You want people to trust your advice on tech. You don't want people to really like a particular type of laptop, right? So the secret sauce on your channel is you, and you need to visually represent that that sentiment so that people start understanding you, and you become the brand, and then people really start taking your advice, and people will probably, you know, take a lot more of your advice if you're a little more personable in your thumbnails. And I agree with Rob. I would find your core focused keywords like laptop reviews or best laptops in 2018.
Exactly, yeah.
And I would make a series of videos around those specific things.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to also probably rank well for the specific laptop, but if it was part of the 5 best laptops 2018, you know, or something like that, you're going to just get a lot more ability to rank. I think that 90% of your ability to rank right now is limited on the specific name of the laptop. And I'm guessing these laptop names are also very competitive. So I would, Rob, do me a favor. Type in _ laptop.
Here we go. And again, we've got underscore search term.
And then type in like review.
Yep.
So an unbox therapy is probably my favorite thumbnails on YouTube. I think he does a very good job of incorporating his tech with his face and, you know, things like that. But those are the two things. I think if you focus on getting more personal on your thumbnails and making bigger category title philosophies, I think you would, honestly, I think you could double your channel this year.
So, folks, what I want you to do is, Jeremy's just been talking about your best YouTuber face. We want to see your best YouTuber face as depicted by emojis. One thing I also want to do is I actually want to just quickly look at one of these videos just to see if the video creator is in the videos themselves. It might be interesting to get a better understanding of, as you say, Jeremy, how humanized these videos are. So let's just randomly pick one and see what happens.
HP Spectre Folio coming up. Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Sultan Patel here and you're watching SP Tech Plus. Today we are looking at the HP Spectre Folio. This device comes with new leather design, covering the laptop with 100% genuine leather, and it comes with 15.24mm of thickness.
So I think what we can see there, I mean, in the first 20 seconds, like I think there's some good elements of show formula there. We had the quick intro, then a splash intro of a channel, and then going straight into the content, which was awesome. But I guess, Jeremy, the thing we're probably going to say here is that it's a detached voice that we can hear, and we can see graphics, and maybe there might just be an opportunity here to do like a picture-in-picture with a person in front of camera doing a bit of narration as well, just to add a little bit of spice maybe to the content, because it looks as if this channel doesn't have access to the technology, which is always an issue with tech channels who can't get review products. So they've got to make their content really compelling.
Yeah, and you know, I still believe that you should be on the screen.
Yeah.
You know, and you should try to connect with people, even if you don't physically have the product. What you could do in that case is you could have like the product shots on the right hand side and you on the, or just something, or switch between full screen full screen product shots.
Yeah.
You can fake it, even you being on camera, but the reality is, my question that all creators should answer is, why would I watch your video versus anyone else in the world? What makes you better or worse or different than Unbox Therapy or any other channel? When you give yourself a flavor and you give yourself on camera, you know, you're actually on camera, then you can find a subset of the misfit toys like you. Right? I'm not calling anyone a misfit toys. I think we're all unique.
Yeah.
I'm a 42-year-old skateboarding dad.
Here he goes again. 42-year-old old nerd skateboarder. Make sure he drops that in every single live stream, folks, just so you know.
Hey, you've dropped in the word emojis like 47 times.
I know.
I'm just saying. So, but you know, you got to find how you relate to other people. And the reason I bring that up again, Rob, is because I want to make sure people realize that you need to find, I heard someone say this week at Vid Summit, you need to find your misfit of toys. You know, you need to find your community of people that can relate to you. And if you're not in screen, if you're not making something unique out of your content, I think you're going to really struggle to grow big. Mm-hmm. You can grow, and I'm sure this channel could have 100,000 subscribers, but I'm not certain that it could go past a certain threshold without personalization.
Yeah. One more thing to add here. I can see that you're putting a lot of time and effort into the editing of your videos here, SB Tech Plus, which is awesome. And I love the fact that you're making a considered effort to really include some very specific keywords as well in your video tags. So a lot of good elements there in just the whole production of the video. So good luck on your channel, and I think you said in the comments that you're planning to get in front of camera as well, so maybe that could be your challenge for the rest of 2019. Next channel, sorry, no, it's not even 2019 yet, 2018. Next channel we are going to look at is Tones. This channel has 75 subscribers, so a relatively new channel. Welcome to YouTube, Tones. How old are you? Okay, so you made some videos 2 years ago, and it looks as if you're coming back into it now. You've made like 3 videos in the last week, but there's maybe a lack of consistency there. So we're going to go back. We're going to go to some fundamental questions, I think, in this review. So, folks, in the live stream chat, I don't want to see emojis this time. I want to know maybe what sort of questions and suggestions you'd be making to this channel, because it feels like one of them where we can do a bit of a group therapy session and say, you've just started your channel, awesome, you got a bit of content on there, what are the things that you should be looking at first? So I'll pick the first one. That would be channel banner. It tells us effectively nothing about your channel as a whole other than your channel name. Is it about video gaming? The thumbnail seems to suggest that. If that's the case, maybe include some images from the video games that you play, or a value proposition, as Jeremy said, something that makes you unique in your own YouTube universe. And why should people be watching your channel? Jeremy, what would be the next thing that you might focus on?
You know what I love? Our community is starting to learn, and they're saying all the answers. We had like 20 people, thumbnails. So I would say I agree, Rob. You know, bring your face to the situation. Make sure people know the what and why your channel exists. You know, in gaming, I mean, you really need to think about being unique. So bringing yourself into frame on the banners and some of the thumbnails, consistency, and then give me a flavor. I'm a gamer. What do you focus on? You know, give me a focus. I'm only into Fortnite right now, or I'm only into Roadblocks. So give me a focus. And then on the thumbnails, consistency, color, typography, everything should be very consistent. And then I should also know what's happening on the scene. So if you are using a screenshot of the actual game, I would bring it very, very close, so I know exactly what's happening, if it's a specific gun or a specific part of the game.
So I'm reading through some of the comments here. Just quickly, I want to mention to Castleberry. He was just saying to our previous channel, keep on SP Tech Plus. Don't worry about your on-camera presence. Own it and be yourself. And I think that's awesome advice, and the way that you support each other here in this community is fantastic. Just to read out some comments then about Tone's channel, we're saying that Inverted Popes banner could do with more. You beat me, yeah. So we're talking about banners. Garage Time says title doesn't say what the channel is about. The Vlog Network, more personalization. Max Might saying that the thumbnails could use some work. So there's a lot of fundamental things here that you can maybe tackle one at a time, Tones, which should really help your channel. And best of luck with your YouTube adventure. And vidIQ community, you are awesome, and we want to say that more and more, which is why I just want to detour onto something a little bit here. I asked the community earlier on today about what might you call the community here at vidIQ. So I'm just going to go to our community tab. I'm going to read some out here. Now, these are the suggestions we've already had in. Jeremy and myself have no clue what to call ourselves. And to be honest, we'd prefer it if the community decided how we should be named, because after all, it's all about you and helping you grow your channel. So, Jeremy, here are a couple of suggestions we had today. Fat Boy Racing. So, yeah, I'm going to read out some out from the community tab, and then we're going to read out.
I thought that was the suggestion. Just Fat Boys.
No, that's a channel name. We're gonna read out some from the community tab, and then we're gonna read out some here from the chat, and then we're gonna get back to channel audits, of course. So, Fat Boy Racing said, "How about nerds?" Public Photography suggested creator. Neo Kirch Baby said intelligent creators sounds good, but he also likes IQ creators. The Aman Tips suggested IQ creators. The Bushcraft Padawan, who's a regular visitor to our live stream, said, quotas. I had to Google that, and I think it's like a small collection of people or something along those lines. Cameron Halliday, IQ Tubers. Seba Live TV, vidQers.
Castleberry just had IQ Crew. I like that one.
IQ Crew. Red YouTuber 64 said the 1 billion IQ team. Rhett Style says Squad. Jammer Geek Crew had 3 suggestions: the IQ Creators Group, Team IQ, IQ Mastermind, all sorts there. Jess Fittick said IQ Nations, and Vanovi said Robs. Just call us Robs. I don't know.
I think, you know what? I think the Robs is the winner. Castleberry with another one, iCubers.
1711 says VGJ. We do not mention that over here at the live stream. That's like a bit of an in-joke there. What else have we got? Michael Hell says IQ players, vidIQ crew, the IQ testers. So we got lots of suggestions here. And just,
you know what my recommendation is, Rob? We do an actual survey in the channel, the community tab after this, and we just let you guys decide. We'll pick 2 or 3 or 4 that we like, and we'll let them decide.
I think we can pick 6 at the most. So yeah, awesome. We'll choose the best 6, including Rob's, which is one of the worst. But there was one person who didn't quite get the idea. Music Nerd Revolution's suggestion was, I've tried to get in touch with your customer support for 6 weeks and don't get any answer. I don't think that's really going to go down well as a vidIQ community name. But if you do need to contact vidIQ, it is, of course, support@vidIQ.com, and I'm sure they will get in touch with you very soon. All right, what we are going to do now is some more channel audits, if everybody is ready for that. I just need to press the right buttons for Jeremy to see my screen, which we will get to there. And I press that, and I press that. And Jeremy, you should now be able to see my screen. Please do confirm. All right, we are looking at True Scout highlights. This channel looks to be, from the thumbnails, about American football, but I can see on the channel banner it has some tiger eyes, and the channel is relatively young. Now, some of the view counts are pretty tremendous here, like in the tens of thousands for some of these. We may have to look at the content itself to see what sort of content it is, because I'm maybe a little worried that there may be some duplication or copyright issues here, but this is just me taking information from what we can see on the thumbnails.
Let's click on one, because
I
mean, for example, like college teams in America and NFL, they do not mess around with copyrights.
Yeah, all right, let's just choose one here.
Skill set of
okay, well, this immediately seems to suggest to me that this is copyright that's being, footage that's been lifted from elsewhere. So I guess maybe we should talk a little bit about that, and then move on. Like the situation is that YouTube are really clamping down on what they're calling duplication. So if you have any content that is used from elsewhere and you do not add any of your own commentary or a valuable how do I put this? Fair use is something that you need to understand, that you cannot just use a full clip. You need to use aspects of a clip and then really add some educational, entertainment, or comedic value to it. And if it is just taken from somewhere, even if your channel does start to get popular, YouTube's going to find it, shut it down. You're definitely not going to make any content from it. And it's not your channel. This is not a value proposition. We don't know what you're about, other than a channel that lifts clips from elsewhere. Anything to add there, Jeremy, before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is YouTube can see every second of audio and video duplication in their system, every second, every frame. Trust me, you do not want to use duplicated content if you actually want to grow your YouTube channel. Best case scenario, they just run ads over your videos. Worst case scenario, they could even take you to court. So my advice in 2018, 2019, do not use any copyrighted material. If you want to study the fair rights, fair use law and rules, and really understand how it works, I think in general, you can't really use more than a couple of seconds clip, and it's very complicated, and you almost need like a lawyer's, advice by using fair use. So personally, I would be careful with using any copyrighted material.
Yep. And
trust me, I've seen dozens of YouTube channels grew to like 500,000 subscribers or whatever. A lot of 100,000 subscribers get banned and then get upset.
I think
every time I'm like, why did you get upset? You knew this wasn't your information.
And we didn't we have like we had such a scenario when we were at a conference last week where somebody had recorded, was it Katy Perry?
One of those
at a concert.
Musicians.
And
she got 345,000 views overnight.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, hey, I'm just letting you know this is going to get you in trouble. And she's like, no, it won't. And sure enough, it did.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move on to another channel there. Sorry that we can't really give you any more advice there. True Scout, what was it? True Scout highlights, but you're treading the copyright line very closely there. Next channel we are looking at is Yasir Tutors You. This looks to be a very new channel because it doesn't look as if the channel's being built completely yet, because I'm seeing a lack of tabs here at the top. But 74 subscribers. You have at least 5 videos here, and they look to be 6 videos, and they look to be of an educational purpose on maths. So we can see that you're getting like perfect light ratios, which is good, and you're already into triple figures with some of your views. What else? Now, this is an educational channel, it looks like, Jeremy, here. So how can we help this channel reach the right audience to educate them? I think, first of all, we're probably looking at a channel banner here and saying that you want to get rid of all the YouTube paraphernalia on here, such as the subscribe button and the like button. They really don't serve any purpose here, and maybe add more about what your content's actually about, because it could almost deceive you into thinking this is a channel about growing your YouTube audience.
Yeah, one thing I would say fundamentally is passion plus intent.
Mm-hmm.
I would really play to the passion you obviously have to teach people math and play the 2048 chemistry, whatever that is. You have passion to teach people math. So I would find what words people are using to search for, and 50%, match that with the passion you have for math. So I'm sure that if you type in something like algebra, like _algebra or something like that,
testing my spelling here. Algebra.
I have nothing. I can't even spell algebra.
Sorry,
so algebra.
Can we?
Yeah.
I can't even spell maths. There we go. Somebody's going to put it in the chat as well, like algebra, and I'll just copy and paste it from there. So thanks very much.
So math tricks for fast calculation. So there's all kinds of tips and tricks, but what you want to do is you want to specifically figure out what people are searching for, and then make content around that. So again, you're going to be passionate about a specific type of math, I'm sure, that you want to teach, and then find what people are searching for, and then you're going to be able to grow your channel. Eventually, there's this threshold, whether it's 100,000 subs or 1 million subscribers, where you don't really have to. I was auditing a channel last week at Vid Summit, and a guy's name was bigger than all search in the world for what he did.
Wow.
So I think it was like 1.7 million searches a month for his name. And obviously he's very famous.
Mm-hmm.
And like all the searches just about the top like 5 or 10 keywords in his industry made up like 400,000. So he became bigger than his industry. But unless you're that, I would start with matching intent and search, so that both in suggested and search terms, you're able to rank higher.
Thank you very much, Mike Shaw, Blackfade, and I can't pronounce your name, Misono Slane, for giving us the correct spelling of the algebra there. Just a couple more things I would add to Yasir Tutors You. Build out your channel a bit, like tell her, so write an about page, create some playlists, and just give your channel more of a welcoming home as well, because there's certainly some things there that you could just tweak to yeah, the foundations, get the channel sorted, and then you don't have to touch those areas for a couple of months. All right, what we're going to do now is a little thing I like to call, when I press all the right buttons, get Jeremy back on screen as always. We're going to look, folks, at today's question of the week, and this is what it is. So, of course, not only do we do live streams where we listen to your awesome questions, and we're going to take some of your questions live later on, but we also scour our comments on YouTube as we publish 2 or 3 videos a week. And this question comes from Pete, and Jeremy can't see this on screen, so I just need to make sure I read it out for him to understand the question. But we've mentioned in one of our videos that if video's not performing well, and you've said maybe that you can change the metadata. So my question is, should I or we as YouTubers be changing metadata even after the video is being published, and let's say it's not doing great, or should we leave it alone? The reason he asks this is because he's heard different statements. So, for example, Daryl Leaves has been saying that you should never change metadata in one of your videos, and that's why you're confused. So I think the general sense is when you publish a video, what should encourage you to mess around with the tags, titles, and descriptions, even thumbnails, after it's been published?
I mean, first off, with an established video, I never touch the title.
Yeah, I think that's rule number 1, isn't it? We always say never touch a good thing. Even if the thumbnail's terrible, the title's wrong, if YouTube's sharing it, you don't want to reset that
you're
shareability.
going to reset the basically the metadata on YouTube side if you change the title. Now, over the years, I've known Daryl for 6 years. I've heard Daryl say every single this and that side, and I've said it too because things have changed over the years. In 2018, approaching 2019, this is what I would say. I would personally say, don't touch the titles. You know, if you're touching the titles within the first 24 hours, you should be okay. I've never seen a problem redoing thumbnails ever. I would not change more than a couple of % of your total library of thumbnails a week. You know, I wouldn't like just change like 100 thumbnails in one day or something. And I would move forward, not backwards. So,
that's the saying you always use, Jeremy. I think that's really important, that you can spend so much time trying to reignite like a dead horse, where really it could almost be worth just republishing the video from scratch, couldn't it? Even if you think it has potential, it might be worth just starting from the very beginning with that same content.
I mean, the reality is, like 2 years ago, I used to make my living full time just re-optimizing content for big brands.
Right.
And that doesn't really work anymore for a lot of reasons. One of the biggest algorithmic, indicators to YouTube to share your content is how long people watch your content. Yeah. And what the click-through to impressions are on your thumbnails, and, a whole lot of other metrics. So re-optimize. So we have this philosophy at vidIQ, and we call it VPH, or views per hour. YouTube calls this velocity. So basically what this means is how fast are you getting views, likes, comments, shares. And if you had a video that kind of never did anything, and then, you're tweaking it, it's just not going to have the same potential as it was at the first 24 hours or first 72 hours. So you kind of almost lose it. Now, there are a lot of us that have videos after a year will go viral and, get 100,000 views. That happens, but it's rare.
I'm sorry, Jeremy's making a really serious point here, and I'm laughing because the Bushcraft Padawan has just pulled me up here for saying, who's reigniting dead horses? And yes, I think that's one of those classic Rob Wilson, just discombobulating all sorts of puns and trying to put them together. So you are absolutely right there with that one. So yeah, thank you for that, Jeremy. I was just going to think of something else to say about.
Hey, we got to meet a lot of you guys.
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah,
Autismpedia.
Hey, hi there.
Week at Vid Summit. I want to say it was really awesome meeting a lot of you guys. And I love seeing Rob so uncomfortable because he's actually getting kind of semi-famous in this industry. And he can't walk 10 feet without you awesome people you know, saying hi to them, and it was really cool. It's really good to know you guys.
Yeah, it was astonishing to have people actually come up and say, I watch your videos and I really enjoy them. It's like, oh, so you're the one who watches it. And then for some reason, people really like my accent. And like, I found that really bizarre. Like, people were just wanting me to talk about anything. Just to hear my accent, which sounds a little weird, and we have been thinking of starting up this Rob Wilson YouTube growth ASMR channel where I just go, how to get more subscribers. But whether or not we're going to do that yet, I mean, let us know. Maybe we should do a voting poll on that in the community tab as well.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
As usual, this live stream goes downhill very quickly after about 45 minutes. What we're going to do now, folks, is we're going to take a quick break because I want to line up some more channels. I have to say this and be really rude to Jeremy that he cannot talk while we're in the break because our audio will pick it up. But when we come back, I'm going to be lining up some more channels to audit. I'm going to be taking your questions. We'll be back in around about 2 minutes. We'll see you then. What if Folks, this is your 1 minute warning. We'll be back in 1 minute. All right, then, let's get back into the action. Hello there, Jeremy. Welcome back. Thank you for being silent there. I'm sure you were contemplating all of the awesome audits we've done so far. Folks, let us know how you think we're doing today. Give us a mark out of 10 for the live stream so far, and feedback is always welcome. So a couple of things to say. I've lined up a lot more channels now to audit, and what we try and do every week is we reset the form because we have to be fair, and we only want to audit channels that are on the live stream here and now so that it benefits them. So if you don't get your channel audited this week, we do apologize. There are unfortunately just 2 of us. We went to a conference last week where there were 1,100 people, and Jeremy and our other audit expert was on here, was auditing channels from 8 to 5, half an hour slots, so they must have done like 50 audits, and we still barely got through 10% of the people. But it's such a service in demand, and we love doing it, and we gain so much value learning from these channels. So we apologize in advance if you don't get your channel audited this week, but make sure to come back next week and the week after, not only to get your channel audited, but you'll learn so much from just us going through each of these channels and the comments that you get from people in the live stream as well. Because you're the community and you make all of this wonderful stuff happen every single week. Yeah, Jeremy, I like. How did you find the experience last week of audits? What did we gain there from who we were looking at?
You know, one of the neatest thing about, I mean, just helping hundreds and hundreds of channels over the last 10 years is a lot of the dilemmas that a channel with 1 million subscribers is very similar to a channel with 100 subscribers. Yeah. A lot of you guys don't realize how close you are together. Like you really don't, a lot of people don't truly understand that the dilemmas someone with 1 million subscribers have are very darn similar to someone starting out. Like the threshold of difference between some of these channels I audited with 100,000 subscribers and 10 subscribers, pretty similar content. You know, most of the time it's people that keep on doing it, that are consistent, that learn 1% of how to change something every week. You know, I think these are the channels that make it on YouTube. I think it has less to do with luck and more to do with just consistent hard work.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of 9 out of 10s here. Thank you very much, everybody, for your feedback. If you like it so much, then make sure to give us a thumbs up in the video and subscribe. You see, I'm trying to condition my audience. And if you do, we'll reignite dead horses every single week here on the channel. Right, let's get into some more some more channel audits with our classic transition. Jeremy, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, you can. Okay, the channel we are looking at to kick us off in part 2 of the vidIQ channel audits is 1711. So my thoughts straight away would be here. I can see that it's a gaming channel, but I don't understand what 1711 means. Is that like the secret that's included in Pixar films, maybe? And I think that has an A in it. It's making me think about what this channel's about. And I'm also seeing that we're seeing some text here, perhaps Japanese or Mandarin text in the titles, as well as English text. Is that to try and appeal to a foreign language speaking audience? Some jumbled up ideas that I'm getting in my head here, Jeremy. Things I will say, though, that it has 180 subscribers. You're posting lots of content on a consistent basis, so you have some of the fundamentals right in there in terms of content. I think we just need to know a little bit more about it.
Let's click on one so we can see if it's in.
Yeah, I'm just noticing as well that some of the videos are under a minute as well, which it's always a little difficult to try and create short content on YouTube, although they say otherwise.
So is it in English or?
So I think what we can learn from that is that there is no commentary on the videos. What else can we find out from the description? There's not much on the description as well. So yeah, I think there's plenty of things that we can maybe suggest here for the channel.
If these were Let's Plays, then you may want to use that in your title.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what they are, and I don't think your audience would either. So there's obviously all kinds of ways to do gaming on YouTube. And, you know, you just have to, I would go all in on a specific type. And then in the tag styles and descriptions, I would let people know what the type of what you're doing. Rob, do you have any examples of some successful YouTubers in the Fortnite or any of these areas that we could maybe learn from here?
Yeah, so I just before I move on, I think I'm looking at the title. Like, so it's good that we have the video creator is really hammering on this Super Sentai Legend Wars content, but I think every single time the title is exactly the same, or at least okay. So when I look further into the titles, the keywords are like the first 80 characters are always the same, or 70 characters, and then there's something different after the title gets cut off. So we may need to think about how you can shorten the keywords a little bit in some way. I think it's good, though, that you're focusing on this one topic. Yeah, the channel that Jeremy is referring to here, where I've done a case study on, is, let's do quickly, Fortnite Season 6. Frames per second, and fingers crossed with any luck. Yeah, what you can see here is the channel here. The top creator is Marcelinios, and what this channel decided to do was concentrate on nothing but this very specific focus within a really saturated market of helping people improve the performance of their gaming on a very popular video game, which was Fortnite. And this channel, I think in the last 2-3 months, has gone from like a few thousand subscribers to now 20,000 plus subscribers. And you can see almost every video is on a very similar topic, but each video is getting tens of thousands of views from a channel with 20,000 subscribers, which is astonishing. And I think that the channel, our hero channel that we're auditing here, has the potential here with this Super Sentai. I'm just going to do a search for that and see what the competition is here for this video. Okay. We're getting a lot of random results, so I don't know how popular this particular game is.
Well, the monthly searches say 483,000.
Yeah, and looking at, like, there's some channels here with like 300 subscribers that have got hundreds of thousands of views, and one here with 100 subscribers. But this looks to be something like a bit more about Power Rangers. So I think this is where we're probably losing something a little bit, in that we don't know this topic. We're not super passionate about it. But there looks to be a potential gap in the market here for, I guess, a video game. Looks like this is maybe playing the video
game at the end or something.
Yeah, the video game version of whatever this is. It looks like Japanese Power Rangers to me. But keywords seem to suggest that there's a high search volume and less competition. So I think he has the right content. It's probably just not being sold well enough to the audience, because we're lacking the thumbnails and personalization. And like, we could look at each of these thumbnails and the titles, and I have absolutely no idea what any of what each of these videos are about.
Yeah, and you know, I think also with the titles and things, and not having your face and words in the videos, I think it's just going to be very tough.
Yeah,
I would experiment and see what works the best. But personally, I would have yourself in the videos. I would make them about a specific thing on the Power Rangers. And yeah, I think better title and thumbnails, or banner and thumbnails, excuse me.
Yeah, just looking at the most popular videos, like there are some here which have a couple of thousands of views, and the titles seem to be more clickable, as you're telling us exactly what's gonna, like, all my finishes so far, and Legend Wars finisher number 2. I think there's more value in those thumbnails and titles. So maybe revisit the ones that you did a year ago and apply them to your most recent videos as well. All right.
And I will say there was 0 of the most popular videos with the dual language titles.
Yeah.
A lot of people 4 or 5 years ago had this philosophy, especially like I worked in the anime industry. I did a lot of anime YouTube channels, and a lot of people thought, let's not do any any language at all. Let's just maybe have some music, and then both, you know, Japanese and English people will watch the same videos. The problem is watching videos without audio is boring.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I would recommend not doing that strategy unless it was a very specific use case.
Next channel, let's do this. Yeah, congratulations on cracking 100 subscribers. There, it looks as if we have a relatively new video creator to YouTube, and a young one as well. So congratulations, and thumbs up for putting yourself in front of a lens and trying this YouTube gig. And yeah, I think the fact that you've already got over 100 subscribers is awesome. Looking at the view counts, we're in triple digits, which again is awesome for a channel with only 7 subscribers. Your channel banner tells us exactly what you're about: funny skits and challenges. And yeah, I mean, I think this is all a very good start for the channel, Jeremy. Where should they maybe look at next for how to take this forward?
I think it's great. I love the titles. They're very clickable. What I would say, like, for example, with the back to school bullies, I would have the kid falling in the pool, 90% of the frame, and having the face and the emotions, eyes, excitement, expressions, emotions. These are the reasons why people are going to click on a funny or serious thumbnail. So I would zoom in the reactions or the skit part of this times like 80, 90% to give someone like, oh, what's going on? Is he about to fall? You know, what happened? So just give more YouTuber face and just get a lot closer in details of your thumbnails. I think clickability with humor type clickable videos is going to really help with views, because you just have to give someone a reason to click that thumbnail. And I think if you zoom in more and you give a lot more reason to click, honestly, I wouldn't put much text on these.
Yeah,
maybe
I agree.
One word. Try to make those words a lot bolder and more readable. Right now, it's kind of hard to read your text.
Yeah.
But it's not about the text of why someone would click. It's more about the combination of the title and eyes, excitement, emotion, engagement. So find this still photo that really represents how cool, crazy, or funny your video is.
I think what's interesting about this channel is it's less to do with search intent, because it's a prank channel, but some of the titles have some very click inducing elements, like this one, try not to laugh challenge, guess how many blanks he put on, and these titles are making me think, yeah, well, this is interesting, but you haven't really told me everything I need to know, but I want to learn more, and click on it. So I think there's some good examples here of how, when maybe your keyword research is not so much on answering a question or finding out what people are specifically searching for, but it's those ones which are really tugging on the emotional intrigue of a potential viewer. Any thoughts there, Jeremy?
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. All right, I think for the first time, Jeremy has nothing else to answer, nothing else to add. I've got it perfectly right for once, so we'll leave it there. Best of luck on your YouTube journey. Let's do this, yeah. And hopefully we'll maybe be looking at your channel in 6 months' time with over 1,000 subscribers. It would be awesome to see the growth there if you can keep at it. Next channel we're going to look at is 150 Days of Winter, a channel with 270 subscribers. Welcome to vidIQ for you. So let's have a look at the thumbnails. I'm seeing some really good, impactful thumbnails here, which are a focus. I'm trying to connect the channel name versus some of these thumbnails, which look to be about drinking alcohol, but there's some about summer ski jumping, and then Ask Me Anything, and then whether or not you should buy a mobile gimbal. So focus might be the first.
Yeah,
topic
can you
of
sort by most popular?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see how what's your audience responding to the best. So it looks like you filmed a Red Bull challenge, Big Air. So what's interesting, let's just get, the Red Bull skiing stuff obviously makes sense, but people are probably typing in Red Bull big air competition and then your ranking. So that makes a lot of sense that you got a lot of views there. However, looking at the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th result, it's interesting to me that your channel is about skiing clearly.
Yeah.
And that most of the top videos are about skiing.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, I think that this channel should be about skiing. It probably shouldn't be about alcohol or, you know, vlogging or cars. I think that, okay, the way that YouTube has explained it to us is they have something called the candidate engine. And essentially what this candidate engine does is it matches users' watch history with your potential videos. So if your channel is about alcohol and Ferraris and, you know, skiing, it's going to be very hard for YouTube to match candidates that have a good representation of their watch history in your channel. If you are a focused channel, then both your subscribers and YouTube will know who you are a little better. So my opinion would be, if you're a vlog, cool, you can do anything you want. It's all about you and your personality. Beyond that, I would focus, because with almost 500 hours of video content uploaded every minute on YouTube, it's going to be very hard to be this, you know, to rank very well for just even one thing, not to mention 20 things.
Yeah.
So without focus, I think it's near impossible to become a successful YouTuber in 2018.
Well, you have another, I guess, 146 days worth of winter left to really capitalize on that topic there. So, yeah, I think, as Jeremy says, get right into that focus of skiing over the next 6 months if you have the opportunity to do so. And maybe less of the Wowie Honor 10 fingerprint scanner stuff, which is so, I think, removed from what people expect from your content. That's why it's maybe getting a lot less views. But good luck there on your winter vlog travels. Next channel we are looking at is the Jammer Greek Crew, 52 subscribers. And what I like about this channel banner is it immediately tells me that this is a family vlog of some kind. And the channel is super new, like almost only 5 videos, but you've already got 50 subscribers. Good news is that 3 of your videos are into triple digits, which is great. Maybe lacking a bit of consistency here, because I can see one video that was posted 3 weeks ago and then 2 videos one day after another. And it looks as if you're experimenting with thumbnails here to try and work out the style you want on your channel. I would be thinking that maybe the channel needs some sort of value proposition to understand why we should be looking at this particular vlog. Is there anything special about this, about your family, which makes us want to become attached to you and your journey? Any thoughts here, Jeremy, I guess, for this channel and like family vlogs as a whole, because there's so many out there and it's such a crowded market to compete in?
Yeah, one thing I would say is really embrace who you are.
Yeah.
Let's say you're a Jamaican or African-American family living in a specific country. There's a lot of other people like you that can relate to you or want to look up to you or, you know, struggling like you. So developing a community is a lot bigger and more important than just answering comments. Developing a community is also having people self-select if they can be like you. Now, I'm not saying your race or gender or, you know, religion, like you have to like exclude everyone else and you just have to be those people. However, the more people can relate to you, again, 500 hours of video content uploaded every minute almost, you want to find your home on YouTube so that you can relate to people like you. So like Rob said, by adding a branding statement, like basically, you know, just a family in Michigan trying to make it, or, you know, something like that to give people a sense of what your daily struggles are, who you are as a person. Just giving people a sense of that is very important. And then on thumbnails, just always make it about your family.
Yeah.
And try to make it the most entertaining, exciting thumbnail from that video.
Yeah.
So if you're at the zoo, make sure there's like, you know, a koala next to your face or something, and, you know, just try to make it fun and exciting and entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was going to be I was going to end the audit there by saying, make sure that your thumbnails include the heroes of the content rather than just text. And so like almost like the first thumbnail is the most natural, but then it needs to blend elements of maybe the next 3 thumbnails, and try and avoid these thumbnails here where the text is falling into the background and there's too many things on screen. We're not really sure what to focus on there. So, Jammer Greek Crew, I saw that you joined YouTube in August, so welcome to this YouTube world, and very best of luck with your channel in the future. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take another little break from channel audits, and when we come back to channel audits, we're going to do the quick fire round to try and get in as many as possible before we end today's live stream. So Jeremy, what we're going to do now is something that always makes us a little nervous each week, is we're actually going to open this up to our audience, and it is the Ask Us Anything round, where we open up the live stream to you, and we want your questions. Just fire them in, anything about YouTube in general, and we'll try and answer as many as we can. So do we have any questions? Let us know. And I guess the first one that's coming in, Castleberry, what should you focus on?
Is that, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess.
Come on, Jeremy, answer that question.
Waking up, having coffee. No, I'm just kidding. Castle Bear, focus on, again, in my opinion, if you're starting out in 2018, passion plus intent. Figure out what people are searching for. Figure out what really moves you. Remember, people are burning out left and right. Big YouTube creators are leaving the platform quickly because they're just so burnt out. So you got to find some type of balance and passion between what people want and what you love. That would be my suggestion there.
Awesome. Somebody asked a question, how should you do end screen? So I've just taken Jeremy off screen for a second to show you how I do it. I go to one side of the screen and then I say something along the lines of, if you enjoyed this video about keyword research, we've got a whole playlist over here. Click right there. And if you want to know more about YouTube tips, tricks and guides on anything about YouTube, we've got another playlist which is down there. So I actually do a direct call to action to our audience, making sure that I don't say that's it for this video or thanks for watching, because those are triggers for people to turn off from your content. So that's how I do it. I mean, there's many ways you can do it. You could almost as if we're talking now and just add the end screen in the background and then have a hard cut. The idea is that you want your audience engaged when those end screens are on, rather than it feeling like the end credits to a piece of content where people have already sort of mentally switched off. Next question, Jeremy, what have we got there?
So the Bushcraft Padawan asks, do you have any plans to come over to the UK for any conferences?
Ooh.
We are planning VidCon London. VidCon London happening early next year. We're thinking about coming over there. We're pretty sure some of us will come over. So that's the one in the UK we are planning for next year.
Yeah, it was moved. It was in Amsterdam last year, but it's now been moved to London. So we're expecting it to be significantly bigger than that one. So yeah, looking forward to seeing you and anybody else who's at VidCon Europe if we can make it. Next question is from the Vlog Network. Should we let our peers critique our channel's content or let YouTube experts do it? Well, I guess the simple answer to that is if you're going to get a YouTube expert to do it, it's going to cost you money, but they will give you solid, brilliant advice with your peers. I think it's always a good idea to understand what's working well for their content, and they'll probably get some good suggestions from your content. And in terms of if you're comfortable with your peers, then that gives you the opportunity for maybe networking and collaboration as well, which is always proven to be one of the strongest ways to grow on YouTube. So I think absolutely getting advice from your peers is well worth it. Maybe, I don't know, Is there anything you can add there, Jeremy? Are there any cautions for taking advice from peers?
One thing, there's a lot of YouTube experts out there.
Yeah,
really understand why they're an expert. You know, see their work or work they've done for their clients. The usual suspects, you know, the Daryl Eves and Tim Schmoyers and Roberto Blakes and Sean Canals of the world, they're solid. I mean, they're going to kick butt for you and do a very good job for you. The Nick Nimmons of the world and Brian G. Johnsons, they're amazing. Just be careful and really, you know, get references, because there's a lot of misinformation on YouTube. And Rob and I and the whole company here at vidIQ, we do a lot of testing and we do a lot of, you know, analysis to make sure we're telling you the right things. And you do hear us say a lot of times, we don't know, or we don't know, or we don't know, because we don't want to give the wrong information, but also this is a moving target, so things change. I would first and foremost see why your competitors are outranking you and doing better than you. And then with that knowledge, I think peers are phenomenal. And I think, you know, having a coach or a consultation is phenomenal too. Just make sure you pick the right people.
Cool. All right, Jeremy, let's do a quick fire round of Ask Us Anything. Pick a question, answer it in 10 seconds, and then we'll pick another one.
How much longer is this stream?
It's until we get tired, but we are doing some more audits, so don't go anywhere.
What is the best way for a Boost member to test vidIQ to see if it's working for that channel?
So I'm not sure if you mean if you already have Boost. We do have a free trial on Boost if you're not aware of that. I think if you do just a Google search on how to get a free trial at vidIQ, you can all get free trials there from our link. The best way to analyze whether Boost is working is to use the channel audit tool, because that will give you a clear indication of what's working and what's not working. And when you have Boost, you've got full access to the entire area. That's more than 10 seconds. So yeah, apply the Boost tools and then check the channel audit 2-3 weeks after you've started using it.
Which YouTube tool is best for finding high-ranking tags with low competition, vidIQ or TubeBuddy?
I mean, what do you want us to say there? vidIQ.
Been with Brian G for a long time. He's very engaging and on point. Brian G is an amazing human.
He is.
Got to spend a little time with him last week. Very intelligent. I think you're doing very, very good with Brian.
And he gave me a personal pep talk, which I really appreciated as well during VidSummit. So thank you very much, Brian. Did appreciate that.
I didn't get one.
No.
What's up with that?
I don't know. Maybe everyone's just giving up on you, Jeremy, because you're too old. Ooh, that was a low blow.
Dang. What do people watch most?
Logan Paul, Jake Paul.
We actually have a tool called, what is it called?
The most viewed tool that we're talking about here.
Most viewed tool, and you can actually see from, if you have Boost, you can actually see based on how many subscribers they have, the categories, the keywords. So we actually have one of the better tools, in my opinion.
The best tool
in the universe, not just world, where you really see what's trending based on VPH or views per hour. And you can go look and really understand what's trending. So if I was working with an audit, you know, for a vidIQ customer, and they asked me this question, I would actually pull up that tool and I would see what's trending today. And I would say, you need to go fame hack this thing happening in the world. You know, so, and here's 3 or 4 examples of videos that are doing really well because of this.
I just to add to that, if you're asking the question, what has been watched most, you're probably asking the wrong question, because I guess with that information, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to suddenly start making Fortnite videos because that's the most watched video? It's all about what your audience wants, to watch, and how you can add the best value to that particular genre, whatever size it is. All right.
All right. So, what microphone do you use, Rob?
So I use a Samsung, and that's not Samsung, the big Korean electrical firm. It's like an audio company. Samsung condenser microphone, but I'm thinking of upgrading it because I've had this for almost 10 years now, and I'm thinking of upgrading to a Rode NT USB microphone soon, but I haven't quite decided on that. So yeah, that's a microphone I currently use. What about you, Jeremy?
I'm on the Rode Podcaster mic. I love it. It's USB, so to the super nerds out there, they would laugh at me, but I think it's a really solid couple $100 mic. I've never had any problems with it. I use it almost every day, so it's good.
Question to you folks: who do you think sounds best, Rob or Jeremy? And that maybe help you.
That's not even fair.
I just like for pure audio quality, not the voice. Okay. Anybody? Somebody asked, how did Jeremy and I meet? Now here's an interesting story. We met very briefly at Social Media Marketing. Actually, no, the first time we went was Vid Summit last year when I complimented him on his tripod, which is kind of like a YouTube chat up line, as weird as that sounds. Then in San Diego, Jeremy got me to do a quick interview for his channel. Then when Jeremy came on board at vidIQ, we met, I guess, formally introduced ourselves and spent some time together in Amsterdam when neither of us had had any sleep for about 24 hours. And we went around the red light district, and we'll leave that conversation there.
Wow. So what's the best way to get your channel audit out there, Rob?
Sorry, what was that?
Not audit. What's the best way to get your channel out to the world?
Okay, so there are plenty of sharing options that you have through YouTube. I did a video on this, like on 10 ways to share your content. So you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket and being just on YouTube. So make sure you've got a Facebook presence, an Instagram presence. Use the community tab if you have it, but I know smaller channels don't necessarily have that as much. But also collaborating with other creators, and that starts with watching your competitors' content, posting comments, joining in on the conversation there. You would do a similar thing on Reddit if you wanted to share your content there, but it all takes time. So don't start just spamming your content. Like we see this so many times on our channel where it's, can you give me a shout out, or like, comment, subscribe, I'll do the same. I don't know the names of any of those people who've posted those comments, and they're just ignored. So
yeah, what's funny about that is if you just spent 10 minutes getting to know us, and like reaching out to us, we would love to do a collab with you if we like you, but don't give us any value, don't get anything in return. A couple of ideas I have is you're into subreddits. Subreddits is a huge opportunity to get to views. One thing I do in any industry, almost every 5 years, I switch industries, and I don't know why. I've just kind of like digital marketing, and I like to become master or get close to mastering specific things. So one of the things I do is my first goal when I enter an industry is to write for the biggest magazine in the world. So in this case, Social Media Examiner is the biggest magazine I write for now. And a lot of the times they'll embed my videos on those blogs. Some of those articles I wrote, in total probably had over 1 million impressions. Another trick is on Facebook groups, not Facebook, but Facebook groups is a heck of a good way to share videos, but you can't spam those groups. You have to do it, with permission and things like that.
And I'll end it with this. Always, when you're trying to network, always think first about the value you can add to them, not what you can get out of this person. And I think that's a very important tip when thinking about how to collaborate and share content with other people. All right, folks, I can see that people are desperate to see more channel audits. So we're going to go into the final stage of this week's live stream, and it is quick fire audits. Let's do this. All right, Jeremy, please confirm, can you see my screen once again?
Yes.
Right, I am going to put a ticker. I think if I can find the correct one. No, we're not going to use that one because that's not enough time. Right, so we're just going to start cramming through as many channels as we can in the time that we have available. So we're going to start with Joshua Duncanseen, YouTube Creators for Change. Looks like you've got a very important message that you want to share with people. Congratulations for cracking 1,000 subscribers. But I'm going to say, whoa, look at those thumbnails. What can we say about them?
A rainbow vomited on your screen. The last 3 or 4 thumbnails are phenomenal.
Yes, they're getting better.
Third one, the watch hours breakdown with Joshua. Amazing thumbnail, man. You got the YouTuber face. You got a lot of good stuff. Too many words, but very, very good thumbnail. Definitely slow down how much is going on in your scene, and take out 90% of your words, 1 or 2, 3 tops words, so people can really focus. Another thing is, we don't know what YouTube Creators for Change means. Try coming up with a philosophy of the what and why.
Yeah.
So let's say you're changing a specific thing like water, right? So YouTubers helping, people get water, or something like that. I mean, that was horrible, but you get what I'm saying, right? Make it very specific on the type of change you want, and then the why that change matters, to help people get out of poverty, to let people have fresh, clean water. So the what and why messaging statement is critical for something like this, so that people can self-identify and know exactly what you're about. We have to guess what your channel is about. We have to guess what your channel is about from your tags, your titles, and your thumbnails, because we can't really, maybe because I'm old, but we can't really read everything on the screen. So we really don't know what's going on.
And final point, it looks as if a lot of these videos were just like non-copyrighted background music that you put in there, and then you switch focus onto maybe channel growth, and you've seen your views collapse a little bit. So I think that really reinforces Jeremy's point, like, what is the audience expecting from your channel? All right, moving on. Thank you very much for contributing to the live stream today. Downtown Success, new videos every Sunday. Channel with almost 150 subscribers, personal development, finance, entrepreneurship. One thing I would say is just be a little careful of a channel banner, because you are going to get chopped off around about there and there on your mobile devices. So just check what the thumbnails look like there. What is the channel about? Let's see. Human personal development, I guess. What else can we see? Anything jumping out at you here, Jeremy?
Yeah, put your face on the banner, and then scroll up a little bit. I would say Downtown Success, and then personal development, finance. I wouldn't do those 3 things. That's 3 different channels, in my opinion, in 2018.
Good point.
I would focus on a specific part of personal development, or a specific part of finance, or the specific part of entrepreneurship. The reality is there's thousands of videos to be made for all 3 of those genres, and you're not going to become a perceived thought leader on YouTube and rank very well on 3 different things unless you're a really big channel. But put your face up there so people can connect to you and relate to you. And then new videos every Sunday is probably the 3rd most important part. So from an emphasis, contrast, flow, alignment, balance, repetition perspective, you need the new videos every Sunday way smaller than everything else. It's just got too much visual dominance right now. And then your thumbnails, again, put yourself there. And you are using some copyrighted material like Homer Simpson, so be careful with that. And then finally, whatever genre you take on, whether it's personal development, finance, or entrepreneurship, I would make a series of videos and match that intent of search, what people are searching for versus what you're passionate about. So Rob, if you type in _ space personal development, I think, I'm not sure why it didn't work. So motivation, audiobooks, there's all kinds of series of videos you could go do around personal development.
Yep. One final thing I would say is I don't know whether it's with the titles or the content, but you are doing something right, because for a channel of 150 subscribers, to see that you're getting videos of 1,000+ views, all pretty much above your sub count, is good. So I think a great start there in terms of the reach that your content is getting. Next channel is Saunders Tech. Definitely a tech channel focusing on iOS devices with 600 subscribers. I would say that your thumbnails are a little busy at the moment. You're probably trying to fit too many things on screen at once. And maybe you need to be a little careful, because it looks like you're producing content which may not necessarily be copyrighted material, but Apple has a funny way of finding content which is to do with hacks on their devices. So you may potentially in the future run into, it's not necessarily copyright strikes, but strikes which are trying to circumvent software. I've seen that happen on big Apple channels before, but certainly a lot of content that you're pushing out, which is fantastic. I've had personal experience in this area, so what I would say is really niche down on a particular answer that you can, a particular question that you can answer time and time again in the Apple software sector, and just nail that content every single time to try and grow in that and become an authority on that particular area. I'm just looking at your older content, but it looks as if it's about Nintendo Wii, so you've moved on away from there. Any other further piece of advice there, Jeremy, before we move on?
Yep, focus, and then make those thumbnails a lot less busy and a lot more human.
So Jeremy just said everything I said in like 10 seconds, and it took me 2 minutes. Next one, my knee grows tall HD. That is the most bizarre channel name we've had today.
It's an anime thing.
Is it? Okay, well, I wouldn't understand. So I guess in that case, Jeremy, over to you.
Yeah, you know what? You're just using screenshots of anime. I would try to personalize that with your face or a logo or a shape or something that makes it you. This is copyrighted material you're using. So I would, from a fair use perspective, at least try to make it a lot more different than just a screenshot of an anime. You obviously are doing a lot of stuff from gaming to animes to all kinds of stuff. So this just goes back to have a reason for people to click on you. The banner really doesn't say or do anything or show me a reason to like you. Put some personality into it, and hopefully you're not using copyrighted material within your videos themselves. Hopefully it's like you on screen or something talking about these games and animes. But again, the big YouTubers, they're almost all of them, besides some how-to channels, it's about them. It's about the YouTuber. It's not about the thing that you're talking about.
Just to add, something that's suspicious here as well is that you have 1,500 views and 1,700 subscribers. Not sure how you're getting those subscribers, but just be a little careful.
One way he could have got copyright taken down
and had a popular video beforehand.
Viral on a popular video, or he could have bought subscribers. Either of them.
You see, we're always investigating. We're always trying to find out what's behind a channel. Next channel is Sean the Great Gamer. 1,000 subscribers to you. For you, awesome. And now we are seeing a channel which does have the hero of the channel in the videos. Here we go.
No, this is good. I mean, you need to bring up the mid-tones in your pictures because we can't really see the details of your face because you're in shadow. So I definitely think that's a miss on your end. I would definitely bring up whatever photo editing program you use, bring up the mid-tones so we can see the details of your face.
Maybe take some pictures. It looks as if a lot of these are like live streams, so maybe take some pictures beforehand and use them as your thumbnail along with the content on the right-hand side on many of the thumbnails.
Or just use you dressed up as a Pikachu.
Oh, you mean like this? Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, good job. Congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. That's awesome. And start tweaking your art, guys. Add your face to it. Give your personality and your perspective. Why are you doing this? If you can answer why you're doing this, then you can have a friend or yourself make art that visually represents what you're doing. And I mean, think about this. Why would you click on your own thumbnail? Yeah.
Last thing from me, it's something that's interesting. I only realized this because Bust a Move was one of my favorite video games when I was going to university. This was one of your most popular video topics over like the course of a year. And you could have maybe doubled down on that and just done video after video on that particular content because it's coming up so often as your most popular content. I don't know if you could revisit that potentially. It might be too late. This game was 20 years old, so it was popular a year ago. Maybe it could still be for your channel, but there's possibly an area to focus on there. So maybe take a look, Sean. Next channel is, we're getting a lot of gaming channels here as we finish off this live stream. Mr. Tor Build, 400 subscribers for you. And I think maybe the channel banner is a little busy. I'm not sure what to look at there. It's probably we need to reduce a lot of the text and have maybe your channel name, when you post, and a value proposition, rather than having so many different elements there to the channel banner.
You know, it's awesome. You're on YouTube. You're going to hit 500 subscribers soon. You do outdoors and gaming and all kinds of stuff. You know, find your passion and just play around until you really get like a focus.
Yeah.
But then once you figure out if you want to be a vlogger or a gamer or focus on outdoors, once you really figure out what you want, double down on what's working, focus all that content.
Yep.
Make your thumbnails more awesome, and you will do really well. But one thing I do want to stress to everyone is have fun, guys. Like, why would you even do this if you're having fun? We're serious, and we're kind of like slapping your channels around a little bit, but it's because we know what it takes to be successful. But at the same time, we want you guys to be YouTubers and creators and have a great time as well.
Yeah. Next channel, Games Rock. Nearly 2,000 subscribers for you. I love the channel art at the top here, although maybe it's potentially missing you in the channel art if you are in front of a camera on any of the commentary. Thumbnails here again look of a very high quality. Focus seems to be on Resident Evil, so we got a good channel focus there.
Although, and you see the big faces on the characters.
Yeah. Again, you're maybe switching between different Resident Evil ones, so you may even want to be more focused than that. Like if you're going to do Resident Evil 2, then focus on Resident Evil 2 for a series of 5 to 10 videos, perhaps. But yeah, I think in terms of custom thumbnails, this is some of the best we've seen in this live stream.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, well done. I mean, you're focused on Resident Evil HD and all the Resident Evils. I wonder if you could make a specific genre of Resident Evil videos that give someone a reason to click. We call these at vidIQ unicorn keywords, but I wonder if you could just do a lot of keyword research to figure out what there's lacking in Resident Evil, and then you really double down on that type of content. When you're a smaller YouTuber, you always have to find a way to stand out. So one of the people I audited recently, they do retrospectives, and you know, there's always a way from a gaming perspective to have a different, unique opinion or view of how you do videos.
Absolutely. And last thing I'm noticing here is it looks as if you do either live streams or you post very long videos to your channel. Maybe you're getting some huge watch time bombs from there. Might be worth looking at your analytics and seeing the value you get from your very long videos versus the ones which are much shorter, like these ones of 7 minutes and so on. And Dark Skin Comics. This channel has 150 subscribers. Very new to YouTube, only a month old, but it looks as if you've made an awesome start here, Dark Skin Comics, because each of your videos have a significant number of views. I like the thumbnails. Obviously, as a comic artist, you probably know how to tell a very good story within a single image. Each one of these looks as if there are stories about... I guess my question is, what are the stories of the comics about? Is there a theme or focus there that we know of? How can we tell that from these images? Anything else there, Jeremy, for you to add?
I would just add some characters to your banner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make it look like Homer Simpson or something. I mean, not Homer Simpson, but make it look like a cartoon or a comic strip on the banner itself, so people can start to fall in love with your characters. Animation is very popular right now. I think if you did, like Rob said, find some type of theme or series or show name or episodes or seasons or something to get someone a reason to keep on watching, I think with a series idea, you would do a lot better.
I think the description is quite revealing here that it's about life experience as a comedic form, and you're the last of 8 children, and I think that could be an interesting value proposition of some kind, like my comic comedic life as the youngest of 8, or something along those lines. You'd probably have to make it a bit more compact and have more punch than that, but I think there's something really interesting in the description here, which you could bring out more in the thumbnails and the channel banner that you have. Folks, that was your channel audits for this week. We apologize now if we were unable to get to your channel today, but I think we've gone through at least 15 to 20 there. Jeremy, as always, it's a pleasure. It's going to be interesting to see now, as I've kind of done off the cutoff here, we see how many viewers just disappear off this audit. But we want to say, while the 110 people who are here now, thank you very much for being on this live stream as always. We really do appreciate the time you take out of your day to try and learn something about not only your channel, but all of the channels we have audited. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe for more channel audits. We try and do these every single week when we're not away at conferences. And of course, we have a lot more vidIQ videos on a weekly basis. And we've not even actually plugged vidIQ at all yet in this live stream. So we're leaving it until the very end. It is a free Chrome extension which you can download, and it will give you all sorts of help in not only researching content but analyzing other people's content and auditing your own channel and taking action to get more views in less time. Final thoughts, Jeremy?
Enjoy the rest of your video making day.
And we'll leave it there.